So let's go back to the OBS software so we can see what I'm doing.
Sure.
All right, so we're live on Facebook again. I'm hanging out with my friend David Cabby right here. We just got done doing our show at Lewis Galleries this weekend. Had a great time. Horses were involved. Should have been there. Yeah. So I'm putting the final touches on my Dirty Harry painting, my demo that I started last week. So we're just going to be hanging out and BSing somewhat. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump into the conversation. So I got a few things I got to do to the Dirty Harry here, just touch it up. So first what I'm going to do.
So let's talk about what you're going to do with Dirty Harry.
Yeah, so the Dirty Harry painting I'm going to offer as a reward on my Kickstarter campaign, which ends in 10 days, on May 10th, 11 days. So I'm going to offer it as a reward for those of you who've been interested in the painting. That will go up tomorrow at noon Pacific time. And we'll touch back on this again as we plug into it, more people show up, if they show up to view the live cast here. So right now I'm just peeling off the dead skin of my liquid, which is kind of dirty looking gunk here that I use to thin my paint down. So the painting's been drying for over the weekend or so, so it's kind of got some dull finish to it, some of the pigment's dry dull.
So you've done Good, Bad, the Ugly before.
Yeah.
Why Dirty Harry? What jumped out at you to want to do?
That's a dumb question, Dave.
I know.
Why Dirty Harry? The question is, why haven't I done Dirty Harry sooner?
That's a true story. But why specifically now? I mean, we've been talking about this for a long time.
I think I just wanted to do another Clint Eastwood, and I was thinking about going back and doing some more homages to the the Western stuff. But I've done a lot of Western themed paintings lately, and I remember as a kid seeing Dirty Harry. What do you feel lucky punk scene, and that scene isn't really what struck me seeing that movie again as recently. It's the something about Clint Eastwood and his toughness and that 70s hair that I was like, man, I gotta do that. Like the colors in the movie, I just looking so tough.
The colors and the style, like he's this badass, but he's wearing this like suit. Like,
it kind of mixes my guys that I've done with suits and ties and my outlaws. It's kind of like a mixture.
Yeah, and then the Magnum is it's almost a 6-shooter, right? It's almost like like a cowboy gun, and it's just a modern version of it. Like,
it straddles that line pretty nicely.
It does.
So I figured I'd start out with a portrait, just a study portrait, and it was a good reason to do I've been doing experiments with these live streams lately too. So it felt like a good time to do a demo and do something more structured on my live stream rather than just me painting on some painting. People aren't quite understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So if there's something that they kind of understand what it's going to look like, it maybe makes more sense. So that's true. So I did the first step of the painting as a live stream demo, and then I did the rest of it just working on it on my own over the course of the next day or so. And so right now it's pretty close to being finished. I just got to do a couple little touch-ups on it. And one of them is like this eye is too far over, I think. You're probably not going to see me do lots of major changes on this painting right now. If it gets to this point, I want to let it sit around for a bit. I have to kind of digest on it mentally. Often things will get so tied up in it, you keep trying to fix things and there's something wrong with it, and then you end up screwing it up. So I'm trying to avoid that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you got the mouth right. I remember you changed the mouth. And
yeah, we had this sort of way of grimacing and putting the jaw forward, and I exaggerated that and I pulled it back a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a painting that's larger than this. I'm going to do like an 18 by 36 inch painting where it's like a full body. You're looking up at him. He's going to have a revolver in his hand. He's going to have a more grizzled look on his face. But this is kind of a lead up into that painting, just sort of getting into the mood of it, I suppose. Yeah. Let me look at my. Yeah. So his eye moves down.
Any which way would lose? You can have Clyde in there with one of them.
What's that?
Really, any which way would lose?
The orangutan.
That's the one you do next, Gabe. Come on.
Dave, I'm glad you brought that up because I need a model for an orangutan. I think you'd be just a fit for it.
All right. Well, the peach hair fuzz on my head grow out. It'll look like an orangutan.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for that.
Right.
Peach fuzz. You wish you had peach fuzz on your head.
So all the iconic lines in this film are John Milius writing it, and he's one of my favorite writers. And
Yeah.
I think it really, like when the marriage of Clint with John Milius in this is really like a lot of things coming together at the right time in history, you know. For a lot of John Milius's iconic characters and stuff that he did, which I don't think he got enough credit for, honestly.
Yeah.
But Clint really just embodied that, like, that dude who is gonna, you know, like the buck stops here kind of thing, you know. And I'm gonna also say an awesome line while I take you down.
Oh yeah.
That's like John Milius to a T, you know.
Yeah. The other thing I thought was so when I'm watching movies outside of like the characters and their lines, I'm like watching the like how the film was made and the colors are like a lot of the things I think we have about history, the ideas and perceptions we have about certain eras of time are really formed around the technology that captured it in video. Mm-hmm. So there's something that makes movies look like they were from the 70s versus the 40s versus now. And so now we have a lot of technology that makes way more advances like a color grading possible than you could have in this film. So like all the shots that were shot at nighttime in this film were really stark, like almost black and white. They don't have a lot of depth of space, and they almost look like they were home movies or something compared to what you see now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to capture that feeling in the paintings too. Like, so I'm trying. I want to go after something that's got a sort of naturalism in the structure and the form of the characters and all the sort of traditional aspects of painting, but also captures that emotional quality through the filter of the technology that was used to capture the movies back then. So like even when I'm doing like Luck or something like that is set in the '60s, I want to capture, you know, the wardrobe, but it's the color aesthetics, like what you might expect from that period. Yeah. Now see if I can screw this up.
Throw it out.
Time to quit.
Yeah, they're actually. Clinton. This painting is just looking right through you. Yeah, you're just you're a dead man.
And
if you look at that, it'd be like, yeah. That's probably the look he gives their actors on when he's directing. When they screw up.
This is the look my dad gave me when he was about to whip my ass on
Which is probably off. I imagine that was off.
So, yeah, well, not really.
Get back in the trailer, Gabe!
I tried to avoid ass whipping as much as possible.
Didn't we all?
Yeah, I still try to avoid ass whipping, so maybe that paid off in the long run.
Oh, you sign up for it at least twice.
Yeah, that's right. I'll be there later. I do. I'll be making my public appearance for ass whoopings in about 4 hours. 3.5 hours available for public meetings.
Yeah.
I've been practicing those, so I have to give you fair warning.
Yeah. You touch Gabe, your first jiu-jitsu lesson is free.
My first lesson is how fast can I run away?
Yeah. Gabe, I don't know if a lot of you know, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah.
That's
why I wear red shorts I'm trying to paint. By the way, usually this is a no-no. This is just what I happen to find first off. But I'm not
on camera. Are you catching the shorts?
It doesn't matter if it's on camera. But you see my shorts that are here.
Oh God! Stop! Sit down.
But the problem with wearing bright colored clothing is it reflects back into your paintings, which can, you may not notice it while you're working on it, but then when you walk away, you realize that it has some sort of weird greenish tints because you overcompensated for the reflection of your own clothing. The shorts probably aren't going to reflect in this. I'm not doing any super critical stuff, and I'm too lazy to change my pants right now. So here we are.
That was our wardrobe talk. We discuss all aspects of the production here, all of the art department.
Yeah, Henderson and Friends.
Henderson, Flamingo and Friends. Yes.
Yeah, we're thinking about calling this show the Henderson and Flamingo Show, and at first we were thinking about explaining that. Maybe we'll explain it later. maybe we'll call
We
something.
do have to come up with a name for the show, though, because we will be having a lot of other guests on here who.
That's the idea. Yeah, the idea is to have a show with featured guests, whether it be people that we know, maybe even bring some fans of the work, and
We could do fans. We
Yeah.
could do some
celebrities.
Celebrities. Well, I mean, just people we know
Quick,
that
you know anybody famous?
are also artists and doing other forms of art, like filmmakers, and we know a lot of filmmakers, and we know actors and producers, so it'll be fun, and we can discuss all types of different art forms and then the process too.
Yeah.
Gabe, you're always talking about your process, and so when other people sit here and I've seen it happen so many times, and then we go to your gallery shows and other artists show up to appreciate your work and they're fans of yours and stuff, and the first question usually or second question is, tell me about your process, and then they want to tell you about their process. So I think that'll be really cool when we get some guests on here for them to really start talking about your process and as they're seeing it in front of them, and sometimes you'll be painting them, I imagine. So
Yeah, any number of things like that can happen. So yeah, we're just kind of testing that out today, and seeing if it will work, if it would be fun. Maybe we're not sure we're going to take it. But so when I was a kid, I used to. I grew up in church, so I used to spend all my time during church service drawing on the back of the pamphlets they gave us in church. So I got some sort of weird way of being able to work while I listened and talked to other people.
yeah.
And so,
You want me to do a sermon right now? As a preacher's kid?
that's okay.
Are you sure?
Episode 2.
Dude, it would be awesome if you kept those pamphlets. Do you have any of those?
Oh, no.
Somewhere. Do your parents have them somewhere?
Maybe somewhere in their Bibles. They say,
Oh, dude, that would be amazing. Next time you go home, man.
I also used to do drawings of monster trucks going through the mud when I was in grade school. And I wonder if any of my friends from grade school had those. That'd be pretty badass.
Yeah, that would be pretty badass. I'd like to see that. Yeah.
But like when I get to this stage of the painting, like I'm only spend a few minutes on this piece right here just because there's just a few touch-ups I want to do to it. It's like I don't need super critical concentration on it to make it work. So,
Trying to jump on
oh yeah, I haven't been monitoring the page, see if we have anybody on there. What's going on there?
It keeps wanting me to sign the
Let me see. Where's my phone? Let's see if I find my phone. See if we have anybody showing up. Now we're going to do a show. Watch us on our phones.
That's right. Oh, there it is. Oh, finally popped up. I had to refresh it.
Okay.
And then turn it down. Oh, jeez. Looks like I need to start doing sit-ups. The next show is just going to be me doing sit-ups in the background.
Dave Crunch Cabby.
That's right. Oh, man.
We got a few people on there watching it.
Say something so Gabe Leonard knows you're here. There we go.
It looks like we're here watching ourselves, so that's good.
That's good.
Dave Cabby. Thanks, Dave, for commenting.
You got it. Anytime, buddy. Anytime.
So anybody who's watching, if you have any questions about art related or anything else about the paintings or anything you want to talk about, we'll be here for a few minutes to answer some questions.
Drop
too.
him.
What's that?
Simon wants me to drop and give him 20.
You don't have
I would. I could do 7.
This show's going to devolve into a human monkey tricks by David Cabby.
I hope not.
He's gonna quit the show. So, like I mentioned before, I'm going to offer this up on my Kickstarter, starting. Hello, Carol. Starting tomorrow at noon Pacific time. So I got about 11 or 10 days left on my Kickstarter for my art books. We've got 5 books coming out, 4 of which have been funded through the Kickstarter. So those 4 are definitely going to be made. And we're going to pull out all the stops to get the 5th one made funded as well, so we can get that one made.
Yep.
Which is the last one's the noir book, which
would be awesome.
Yeah, would be cool.
That's a really cool series.
So I'm probably going to offer a couple of other things too, including people who might want to pose for paintings and keep painting. So sort of a quasi-commission reward.
Quasi.
Yeah, well in the sense that I'll be creating the image that I want to create, and they'll get to keep the paintings. But it'll probably end up in the book. There's a couple of images I want to do for like Power Level Success, which is like the business guys and stuff, but it doesn't have to be that. So
and gals.
Yeah, and gals. Yeah, and gals.
With stacks of cash.
We were at the cash roll from a prop house, so I don't get too excited. One of the key things too about finishing paintings is not to overdo it. I mean, you can get lost in detail forever, and I feel like all paintings, if I start going down the road of lots of detail, it ends up losing something. Like the more you explain something, the less interesting it becomes, sort of, I guess. Overall, I think this painting's close to being done, actually. So I'm just gonna make a brief. So we're gonna edit this together for an update on Kickstarter later. So let's see how this is looking here. So yeah, I will be uploading this to Kickstarter starting tomorrow at noon Pacific time, and you'll be able to get this as a reward. And I think I'm gonna offer it with a copy of all the books. So right now we have 4, but if we get to the 5th book, which I'm pretty confident we will, that will be part of the reward as well. And each of them will come with a full-page dedication sketch personalized to you. So check in there at noon.
And we still got to come up with the title for this, so we could probably get some suggestions on that.
Possibly, I don't know. Stay out of it, Kevin. All right, guys, thanks for checking in. We'll see you soon. I'm looking at doing live streams probably on a twice-a-week schedule, possibly on Mondays and Fridays at 2. If you guys have any sort of feedback on that, like what time is convenient. I want to try to make this as convenient for everybody to check in as possible. If you have things that you'd like to see covered in tutorials, that sort of thing, let me know in the comments as well. Any other suggestions we're looking for? So we're starting to build this up from the ground up. This is, like I said, the first test for this sort of thing. Having a friend sit in while I'm working on stuff, and we're going to look to have guests going forward, probably once a week. As sort of a podcast type thing, I guess. But yeah, we've had so much fun with it at the gallery. Had so much fun with it doing it live so far that it seems like something I'd like to do going forward. So yeah, keep checking in. All right, until then, bye guys.
Later.